Hey, you there. Thank you for watching. And welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator on Chaos Saturday. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their weekend. And if you're not, hopefully I can brighten your day up just a smidgen. We'll take a look at Team 1's Northern players first, and then we'll introduce Team 2's Southern players afterwards. Starting off on the Eastern side here for Team 1, we have in Royal Blue, it is CM Nicholas playing as a Cybran. He is an 1800. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall, so somebody to watch out for. To his west, his next door neighbor is another Cybran. It is Rye Guys in Light Oak Tan as a 1400. In Batman Gray to his west, another Cybran. It is Umbra, definitely aptly colored there. He is a 1500. In Emerald Green to his west, it is another Cybran for Team 1. It is Boogeyman playing as a 1500 as well. To his west in Stitch Blue, finally breaking the mold here for Team 1. It is Dusky 805 playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1200. To his west, we have in Pac-Man Yellow, it is Magic playing as a Cybran. He is a 900 in Pac-Man Yellow. And to his northeast in Chevy Crimson, we have a Doombot 213 playing as a UEF, also breaking the mold for Team 1. He is an 1100, again playing as a UEF. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 5 Cybrans, 1 UEF, and 1 Seraphim. No Aeon Tech for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's Eastern player, then going west, we have that is Barbie Pink? It looks like lightish. Maybe that's lightish red pink. He is Rekather playing as a 1500 as an Aeon. And as I look at it, it is definitely lightish red pink. To his west, we have in Forest Green, it is Hyper 2001 in the best color. Of course, he is a 1400 playing as a Cybran. To his west, we have in Snow White, it is Sanoman playing as another Cybran. He is a 1600. Also the highest rated player on Team 2. To his west, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is Dark Sand playing as an Aeon. He is a 1300. In Imperial Gray to his west, we have the Seraphim of Sandman 27. So we have Sanoman and Sandman. He is a Seraphim again in Imperial Gray. To his west in Amethyst Purple, it is Unmaker playing as an Aeon. He is a 1000 rated. And to his south, the last remaining player to be introduced is Blarg 6516 playing as a UEF. He is a 1200. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Cybrans, 3 Aeons, and then 1 UEF and 1 Seraphim. So all the factions are represented in the game and on Team 2. But as a note, Team 1 has a heavy presence of Cybran and missing out on Aeon Tech. And for these 14 players on the map, let's take a look at their reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 17,000 mass in reclaim, which makes it's a little bit over 1,000 mass. Given there's 14 players, 17,000 is a little bit over 1,000. It's probably like 1.1, maybe close to 1.2. But it's over 1,000, so pretty close to those numbers. Taking a look at the expansionary mixes for our players to grab as well, not just the reclaim. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Trimix positions on the front line. And then there's a Trimix position in the background as well for a couple of players on towards that eastern side. So there are technically mix expansions for everyone. It probably won't go to everyone given the locations of said expansions, but for the most part there's a little bit of expansion for everybody. I will want to make a note, there is a pond in the middle as everybody can see, so we are going to see some naval action in this game. Love to see that. And there is a transport inbound from Team 1's Rye Guys. He's going to drop in the middle of Hyper 2001's base, and it's going to cause some havoc. Probably T1 PD. Yep, immediately starts a T1 PD emplacement, and if there are some bombers, that would be very, very helpful for Team 2, but it doesn't look like there's any inbound. That T1 PD is activated, going after the facility, reclaiming the hydrocarbon. Ooh, not going well here for Rye Guys here towards the eastern side. He's actually probably have to fall back to deal with this. Even units inbound from the north as well from CM Nicholas to annoy him on top of this. Not a great situation. The air facility going to go down. Bomber might... Nope, it's not going to be built in time. and he will lose both of his factories. Unfortunately, there is a bomber inbound from Team 2's Reckoner to assist, but maybe a little bit too late. He does get a couple of shots into those engineers, but for now he's going to be knocked out of the game for a little while. He does have some naval facilities, to be fair, so he's not completely out of production facilities, but his main base is not looking too hot. Land facility is gone. Team 1 PD has actually got up to a veterancy, which is somewhat rare, and it's going to grab another mechs and kill off a couple more mechs for Team 2's Hyper 2001. So it really just gets punched in the teeth in the beginning of the game. Not a good way to start. On the western side, we have a nice little K that's formed here, and there is a Trimex position towards the the vertical part of the K. We do see Team 2's Unmaker is inbound. This is going to be very much a tight environment to be in, just due to the fact that there's, again, not really a lot of room to move around and not a lot of mechs, so a big no man's land up there, and there's just a no man's land across the map generally, but especially over here. I mean, even if you go out to like the legs of the K, or whatever you want to call these lines that go out at an angle, there's one mechs on either side. There's really not a lot on those extremities, so really the action is going to be focused on this little corridor here. Western side, we see gun here for Team 1 and Team 2. Doombot and Dusky going for gun. And then Sandman going for gun. Torpedo starter for Umbra in the middle. And then we also see next door to him is Buggyman. No upgrades yet. Team 1, CM Nicholas going for his gun as well. So players do have a little bit of idea of what they're going to do, at least with their commanders. We'll take a look at where they are distributing themselves around the map as well. 1v1 on the western edge. We'll see if Unmaker pushes in. He's holding back for now. He's not moving into the Trimex position yet. He's going to hang back. That's probably a good idea, just to make sure he has a backup facility in case this expansion doesn't really work out for him. He has some support, because it does take a while to get units over there, because you have to go to the east and then the west and then up. So maybe even just distance building a couple of facilities, maybe here and maybe here, would kind of alleviate some of that time to arrive. And in the eastern side, it looks like it's going to be maybe actually 2v2. Couple of subs inbound from Sanoman to drive away Rye Guys. I bet Hyper's going to be happy about that. But it is going to be 2v2 in terms of comms. CM Nicholas and Rye Guys versus Hyper and Rekather. There is a comm in the water for Team 2. Actually, there's two of them in the water for Team 2. Dart Sand kind of doing a little bit of both land and Navy a little bit. And Sanoman focusing on Navy. Team 1 has a second player in Navy, that being CM Nicholas. So it's 2v2 there, and I will note that Buggyman is nearby, Umbra in the middle, so it's kind of a 2v1. First comm become action occurs between Sandman of Team 2 and Dusky of Team 1. So both of them have gone on board. Both of them are Seraphim, so no hit point advantage. The numbers will favor Team 1 in terms of units, but again, that just means more veterancy possibility for Team 2's Sandman. And in the main bases, we do see at least one player from Team 2. Looks like it's Blark going for an air facility now. And then for Team 1, no, there's nobody in their main bases for Team 1. So the only player in the backline is Team 2 for now. And we'll see how long that lasts. We do see Torpedo has stopped. Gun is almost done. T2 coming on board for Magic on the western side. And now Sandman's kind of on his lonesome. Needs to be careful. Those units are going to be swarming him. He does have some reinforcements from not only from himself, but his teammate of Dart Sand to the east. And I will note, because there's a heavy presence of the FC clan in the game, they are 99.9% likely to be on comm, so I don't expect a lot of communication via the chat. It's going to be more just talking to one another. It's going to be a lot easier to respond. You can clarify things a lot better and be like, hey, there's this thing over there, go do that, versus have to make like a little icon and chat about all the the little picture, which I do like that inclusion, that you can kind of just snapshot something and it clips right to it. I really do appreciate that. Sandman is at one veterancy. Dusky almost at one veterancy himself. But he's looking to get that nice little star pinned to his chest. Kind of reminds me of Sam in Death Stranding, where you get, if you 5-star a location, you get a little star on your leg. That's kind of what that reminds me of. And it's funny, it just comes in a box. He just like stitches it, or it just magnetically attaches it, or whatever, however he attaches it to his leg. It's very funny. I just find it funny. Torpedo also started for Buggyman. So 2 torpedo comms on Team 1. Again, with a roster of 5 Cybrans, and there's some water in the game, might kind of be nice to have another torpedo capable comm in the roster. Looks like Rye Guys is falling back. Team 2 getting a little bit built up here on the eastern side. Same with Team 1, but they're not pushing into no man's land yet. Western side, it's a little bit more pushing in between the two teams. And then also western side really far. We finally see Unmaker moving in. He has advanced range and the sensor package online. So this is what Team 2 can see from that view. And again, as a reminder, this is what Team 1 can see. There has been a little bit of scouting from both teams, but not as much from Team 2. It looks like they're fixing that now. Just getting a view on what they're up to. I think that was actually Team 1's view. Well, it looked like Team 2's view. Maybe it was Team 1. Anyway, stealth started for Buckyman in the middle. And that's, I think, the only upgrades progressing. Now, we do see the gun comm of Doombot is online. We also see Dartstand with his gun upgrades online as well, pushing in to assist Team 2. We do see Corsair shooting at Sandman. He's almost at 2-star vet. Definitely needs to be watching out for that Corsair. 1 is not a terrible thing. 10, on the other hand, is definitely a terrible thing to watch out for. Team 2 is surging in the water, pushing in to that northern side. And there's 2 T2 naval headquarters that they're definitely going to be going after. We'll see if they get them or not. There's only Team 1 units. There's a decent amount of support. Looks like they're building some Barracudas, and 1 built a destroyer, so that should be enough to drive away most things from Team 2. But there is constant pressure, and they are falling back now, so that might give them a little bit more time to get some more stationary defenses online. Western side, still that Corsair shooting at now Sandman. Sorry, Dartstand, not Sandman. We have Sandman, Sanoman, and Dartstand. Not confusing at all. Maybe I'll just call him Darth and call it there. Western side, Unmaker being a little bit surrounded by some forces from Magic. Nothing too crazy, though. Definitely needs to watch out for the drop in hit points that is precipitously happening here. Needs to be careful not to get stuck on the cliff edge. He's also being shot by a nice little Cerberus PD. He has some reinforcements coming in soon, but it's not looking good for him. It looks like he's kind of just stuck here, Unmaker, but Magic kind of body blocking him, not actually shooting his gun, which was kind of weird. Don't know if he was having some targeting issues or something, but if he continues to push him, he might get the kill here. But we have some Team 1 units, some flares just to get something over there. Midwest position here. Units are starting to fall back in terms of Team 2, but looks like for the most part the comms are holding. And Unmaker's dropping below 2,000 hit points. Magic's actually dropping pretty quickly due to all the flares, and Unmaker will get out of range. Luckily, he might get sniped by Team 1. Definitely needs to be careful of that, but those flares bought him enough time to be able to do enough damage to Magic to not make it worth it doing the essentially just charge at the comm, take the damage from the kill, and then fall back. Because at that point, he might take enough damage to be an easy kill for Team 2, so it's not worth the trade, it looks like. On the eastern side, advanced range started for Reckoner. Same situation. He has the sensor package online, but he's dropping hit points. T2 gunship overhead for Unmaker. We do have an interceptor and an AA being deployed. 50% on the shield. He needs to get that immediately. That'll give him 8,000 additional hit points to play with, just as long as he has power. But he needs to be careful, because that could easily spell disaster for him if he stays there, if he doesn't get the shield online, and if he stays there, or both. It looks like the shield is done. There's that 8,000 hit points. Ooh, that was very, very close. In the west, we see Doombot now engaging. It's one Seraphim, one Aeon versus a Seraphim and a UEF. Dusky going for his Nano. Sandman has 3-star vet. Dusky has 2-star vet. We do see Sandman at 1-star vet. And there's the Nano. It's done. Now it's 2v1. Sandman needs to fall back immediately. I want to switch over to things just to make sure I don't miss anything. The units are slowly moving in, but not pushing in. So we'll look back at that in a second. I don't know what that icon is over there. Kind of looks like the Oblivion logo. Sandman falling back. He's dropped into the red. Team 1 could have probably gone for the kill, but it could have really turned into maybe a murder-suicide, double kill, murder-suicide, double kill, double murder, suicide situation. So it looks like they kind of just backed off generally. Sandman walks back. You got to keep walking back. Missile raining in. Looks like it's from a mobile missile launcher, not a stationary one. So the damage is not as bad. It's actually really not as bad. And in the middle, we do see Navy starting to engage one another, at least more T2 forces. Another T2 naval headquarters online for Team 1. It's a Cybran Buggy Man going for it, and we do see that Umbra has his torpedo now going for Nano. Love that he's going for Nano because it keeps him alive even longer in Navy. It's very, very dangerous to have a comm like that not have Nano, because you get stealth, 2,000 additional hit points, and then Nano gives you additional regen, and that keeps you alive a little bit longer, because those torpedoes on board T2 and especially T3 units are very, very damaging very, very quickly. Don't know if he should be repairing the Gunther position, because Magic is losing hit points pretty quickly. Unmaker with the shield online, emboldened by the additional 8,000. Might get the comm of Magic here. He's dropping below 2k. Another overcharge kills off a chunk of hit points there. There is a T2 PD. He does need to be careful. As long as he doesn't lose power, he'll be fine. His hit points, his actual hull hit points, are back up to 2,900. Magic dropping below 600. 500. Another overcharge. One more shot. There it is. Team 2 scores the first kill. Veterancy for Unmaker drops him. So actually races him back into the yellow. First kill for Team 2. Drops it to a 7v6. And I will note this is a little bit of an older game, so there's no drawing in this one. I do apologize. I like it to kind of keep track of things, but there's no, like 6v7 and I'm circling the 7 or whatever. So just be aware of that. That's obviously noted by the map gen being a 1.14 version. This is just one that I've had on my list for a while, and I just kind of forgot about it just because it was, I have a list of all the replays that I have that are able to be, casted and whatnot. So I just picked it out of a hat, went, oh, this one's a little bit older, that's fine, and called it a day. Western side regen ore is done for Dusky, so getting his units nice and healed up as well as keeping them alive a little bit longer. The Ilshis get 15 hit points, which again isn't a lot, but it's definitely something which is better than nothing. And now with the death of Team 1's Magic, we do see that Unmaker is going to grab that Tram Expedition. He probably will stop there. Getting to the main bases is going to be a long, drawn-out process. And again, maybe he gets some T2 artillery right here and shoots it at this base, or even maybe tries to get some missiles and shoot at this base, but it's going to be a long, drawn-out battle over there. It's a very narrow neck of environment, so if he gets stuck out there, he is going to die, so he definitely needs to be careful how far he pushes in, because especially with some Corsairs starting to run around and ASFs, Team 2's frontline comms need to be careful because a snipe may soon be imminent. Let's play hide and seek, sissy. That's not a bad one. I wonder what his cloaking name would be, because I would kind of denote. I guess that's just permanent hide or almost permanent hide versus hide and seek, because it's easier to, essentially hide yourself off radar kind of thing. That's fair. Boogeyman and Umbra leading their forces. Well, Umbra's there, and Boogeyman is leading some of his forces. Team 1, again, 3 sets of players in Navy. It looks like the forces from CM Nicholas being donated over to one of the 2 of them to Micro. Definitely a nice use of APM there. We need Team 1 subs, T2 subs, some mermaids for some stealth capabilities, and I think they do have torp defense, and they are nice passively defensive units here. Team 2, that's not looking good in the facilities department. They've lost one of their Team 1. Maybe is that Team 1? Yeah, it's Team 1. Yeah, again, Umbra is there if they spot him, which maybe looks... No, they don't see him. So they don't... just not aware that he's there, so those comms are going to be there for probably a little while longer. And again, the longer they stay there, the more likely they'll be spotted. But for now, it looks like they're fine. They're also backing up now as well, so it's definitely a good idea, especially with those forces. They did survive the attack. Both forces are eviscerated, but some hover tech inbound from Rekather will be able to force back the remaining things that are on the surface of the water. Nothing below it, of course, but Team 2 did try to sneak a couple of Harbingers by. We have some Ilshi trying to chase them down. They're getting a little bit outranged, which is unfortunate for them. A tiny smidgen. Oh, actually, no, they were definitely in range. They just weren't firing, which is... Wait, are they just not being seen? That's what Team 2 can see. This is what Team 1 can see them, so weird. Western side, I think, well, who hit that hold here? Oh, watch air here, says somebody from Team 1. They're watching out for any sort of air approaches that way. He did send in some forces, Unmaker, not Rekather, to push in whatever they can grab on that little approach vector. But again, like I said, it's not a great environment for attacking just because of the very, it's bottlenecks everywhere. So it's not a great place to be. We do see Sandman now has Nano on board. Charges into a group of Ilshis. Highly would not recommend that. That's not great. He's going to get some veterans, and he's going to get up to 4. We do see that Dartson is inbound. Harbingers also do assist. Dusky, 5-star vet. Needs to be careful, though, because these are Harbingers. They are T3 units. They're not as destructive in terms of their one-shot capabilities as Percy's, for example, but still, T3 units are T3 units. You got to take them seriously. Like the curving of the overcharges from Team 2. Yoshis have been thinned out quite nicely by both comms. And now Sandman's at 4-star vet, closing in on his 5th. Darth Sand's working on his 3rd. And, of course, Dusky is already at 5, so no additional hit points for him. We do see in the South T3 Air online for 2 players. Yeah, 2 players from Team 2. Team 1, how many are we looking? 1 and just 1. Oh, no, there's 2. There's 2 air players for Team 1. Maybe is that a, no, that's a land facility. Okay, so 2 air players for each team. Corsairs inbound going after Sandman. Some flak is nearby and a couple of interceptors and ASFs. Rip those apart quite nicely. Team 1's Air Force is right there. It looks like Team 1 does have the lead for air control. I wouldn't say it's air dominance yet. Let's see, 36 plus an additional 14. So that's 50. Team 2, it is Sandman, Sano Man. He actually, is that Sand? No, he has no ASFs. It's just going to be Blarg. He's at 25. So Team 1 does have air control. It's 2-to-1 advantage, but it's nothing over 50, so no dominance yet. But again, kind of surprised that there's not a lot of ASFs being produced out of these facilities. Looks like he's producing Tort Bombers. Maybe he saw a comm or 2 from Team 1. Yep, they can see one now. They might be going to go after sniping somebody for Team 1. And I will note, of course, the only player to die before 20 minutes was Magic, so it's still a 6v7 at the 21-minute mark. Team 2's comms are pushing in against Dusky, and they're not killing him off. They probably could do that, to be honest with you, but they're not going for the kill yet, because, again, if somebody dies, at least in this game, all their stuff gets transferred over to somebody else, which would probably be Doombot, or you might be able to hand off maybe a base to Buggy and then give a base to Doombot to make it 2 bases per player there. But again, it's I don't know. He might just end up with all 3 bases because he's on that western side. But then he has to micro air and land, and that's more annoying to deal with than just giving all the land over to somebody else that's already doing land. It's just easier. We do see lots and lots of destroyers being produced by both teams. Again, it's looking like Team 1 still has the advantage for numbers, not for long, it looks like. Tempest has been thought about for Team 2's Rekather, unless he donated over an engineer. And Sandman being targeted by Dusky, he's at 21,000 hit points, total 110. 100 for Sandman because he doesn't have the, not the advance, but the region or just the region or, looks like. Yep. And Team 1 won the fight against Team 2's air. Looks like it's a complete win, and it's probably about a 50 advantage, so Team 1 probably just has air dominance at this point, so I'll just call it there. Tort Bombers inbound from the east as well. I don't know who they're targeting. Probably target the Tort Bombers first. Sorry, Tort Bombers. Target the Salem's first, or actually target the cruisers first. And maybe at this point just have the Salem's target the cruisers. But it looks like maybe Buggy Man's going to be targeted by those Cormorants, excuse me, from Team 2's Sano Man. He drops into the yellow, sub 50% of his hit points. And again, that is another danger with being in the water with Navy with this situation with Torpedo, is that even with Nano on board, Team 2 in this example could just build a bunch of Tort Bombers and go, bye, point, click, dead. So you have to be very, very careful. Those bulwarks help out from the UEF a little bit, blocking some shots, but it's just it's a very, very dangerous situation. Now he's going to go for Nano. He has Nano. He does not. That's going to help him out a decent amount, but definitely something to watch out for. Western side, still Sandman. He's dropping below 100 hit points, and there he goes. It looks like it was a back and forth, but some Optims from Dusky came in and just ripped his hit points apart. That is a win for Team 1. It is now a tied game, 6v6 at 24 minutes. Navy's looking pretty good for Team 1. Still a way for Team 2 to come back. Looks like the Tempest is going to build here a little bit closer to the shoreline, a little bit further back, so it's protected. But Team 2 is losing numbers quite quickly here. A couple of CM Nicholas's forces haven't been donated over yet. It looks like he just wants a couple of attempts at the action over here in the middle. Eastern side, really nothing has happened that I've noticed. A lot of back and forth, but not really a lot of engagement. Not like the western side. And with the death of Sandman, his base is gifted over to Team 2's Sanoman. And then we do see ASFs engaging one of the... Looks like it was a possible airlock happening, but the numbers didn't really look good for... I mean, obviously for Team 2, but for Team 1 either. I think he got out with maybe a dozen or so. Almost 2 dozen. That's not... I mean, it's something, but it's not a lot. Especially when I think they had a rough 50 ASF lead. There's still ASFs online for Doombot, to be fair, probably about a squadron. So it's about maybe 30 or so for Team 1, but they kind of look like they had 50, so they definitely did take a chunk of loss there. A couple of bricks on the western side patrolling, not allowing anything that way. We do see Unmakers pushing in. He has advanced range online. Again, still needs to be careful. He's decently far forward in terms of the 50% equator mark. Just needs to be careful how far, because he could easily get sniped by something from Team 1 and just, again, keep his wits about him kind of thing. Team 2 still being bombarded by Team 1. We see the Salem's now going after the T2 naval headquarters for Sanoman. And the Tempest is almost done. Big boat, small pond. More and more spam units are inbound just to soak up shots from Team 2 and keep the destroyers online just a smidgen longer. Nano is done for Buggyman. He's back up to full HP at 20,000 hit points. Looks like he's actually going to get airlift. Oh, looks like he was going to get airlifted, but changed his mind. T2 naval headquarters is down for Sanoman. Hypers 2001's facility is still online. Oh, it's in the green. Does Team 1 know it's there? Team 1 probably knows it's there now. There's the ping from CM Nicholas. But that thing is going to finish here shortly. Just anything and everything spammed up into that thing. Target the engineers. You're not going to kill off the unit itself. It is done. The Tempest has been completed. And now Team 2 has enough hover tech. Actually, that's not hover tech. That's just under the water with torpedoes tech. Unique, actually, to... it's not unique to the Cybrins per se. The Seraphim have it as well. But at least at the T2 tech department, it is unique to the Cybrins, because they have bricks at T3 and then Autumns at Seraphim have T3, and they both had torpedo capable weapon systems on board. That's what I'm getting at. But a couple of gunships inbound from Team 1 just get absolutely thrown into the sea from Team 2's perspective. ASF's inbound to try to cover some of them. ASF's inbound from Team 1 to try to help out. A couple of gunships will get away. They did lose a couple of numbers. And there is some AA in the area. Not a terrible amount, but just enough. The Tempest might be stuck. There it goes. Okay, it's out. It's past its edge of the not model. There it is. There's the word. I know words. I know words. I promise. 27 minutes on the clock. At this point, both teams have lost a player. It's Magic for Team 1 and then Sandman for Team 2, making it a 6v6. Eco situations, haven't touched on that at all this game. Team 1, 1.9. Team 2, 1.4. So in favor for Team 1 by a decent margin, partially driven by a little bit of map control, especially in the middle. The eastern side's kind of just gone for both teams for the most part. Western side's a little bit in favor for Team 2, but not by much. There's not really much there to begin with. So, and not really, again, an advantage for Team 2 over there. Just, it takes a lot of time and annoyance to deal with that. So at 27 minutes, it's anybody's game at this point, but we'll see what they end up doing in the late game. We do see a Megalith online. Of course, the Tempest is now gifted over to Hyper, and they're going to push it. There's a lot of engineers getting the reclaim. Actually, I'll take a look at the reclaim while that I think about it before I forget. Team 1 and 2 have 72,000 on the map. Almost half is located in front of the naval facilities for Team 2. So that's going to be a lot of eco. They might build another Tempest with that. They might just say, nah, we'll just fund an artillery or something with it. Who knows? A nuke would be nice. I think everybody familiar with me knows I like nukes for the obvious reason of I like watching stuff get blown up, and because I say kaboom a lot with or in relation to that. Team 1, do you have any experimentals online yourself? C3 Navy is nice, though. No experimentals yet. Which I'm kind of surprised by. No monkeys, no crabs, no fat boys or chickens. Given the fact that there's 5 Cybrins on Team 1. There were 5. Technically, there's 4 now, but started with 5. No monkeys yet. 28 minutes, almost 29. It feels a little late, but again, let me know who you think is going to win down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching to at least this point in the video. If you have enjoyed, please do the YouTube things that YouTube loves to see. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, all of those things. I really do appreciate it. And I do see a nice little missile launcher online for Team 1's right, guys. He's over here. Looks like Unmaker is able to shoot at that. Oh, he does grab that one missile launcher. Can't grab the other one. I think he's just barely out of range there. Oh, look at that, just barely out. But some bombers are inbound to assist. Looks like they were assassinating a couple of mixes deeper into Team 2's territory, it looks like. And actually to the east as well. And, speaking of Nuke online. Ooh, Strap Bomber went in for a kill on the Nuke, and Team 2 went nope. And the Nuke is loaded. Ooh, does Team 1 have SMDs? Yes, not loaded. And that would be a good target. Yes, not loaded. Yes, loaded. And yes, gonna be loaded in time. So unless it doesn't fire immediately, this base will be fine, which means this is gonna be probably the only target realistically at this point for Team 2 to go after. We'll see. Missiles inbound. Tempest not moving, which makes it an easy target for missiles. It does impact, coming off about half of its HP. That's not great for Team 2. Another missile barrage will pretty much kill that thing off. That's a lot of damage. It is a lot of damage. And looks like there's a couple of brick annoyances from Team 1 that Team 2 is dealing with, and lots of Othams stacking up over there. I believe at this time in the... I definitely have released the poll on the channel for the name of the group of Harbingers that you would like for me to use. Again, I haven't been able to use Charge, at least that I've noticed in this game. There's really only 2 UEF players, and both of them are in the back line, so not really any Percy's running around, which is a shame, but it happens. Torp Bombers a galore inbound from Team 2, Sanoman, and we see missiles. Oh, that's such a good snipe from Team 1. Ooh, not going to finish, says Sandman, says talking about the chicken. He's probably talking about in time. Nuke is still loaded. Nuke is still not fired, and now that SMD is loaded, and that is an opportunity missed for Team 2. Granted, Team 2 didn't know that, most likely. They didn't know. They don't even know the SMD is there. All he did was, since Sandman died, all he did was eco. And then Team 1, this is what they can see about Team 2. They know where the Nuke is and the air grid is, and that's really about it. So if Team 2 has anything hidden over here, nope. Nothing really crazy. A couple of P-gens, nothing too crazy. Team 1, are you building anything fun and exciting in their back line? Nope. 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 Why not a lot of experimentals for Team 1? I mean, 32 minutes in almost, and I see none of them. Kind of weird. Is there an SMD? Mega says Umbra. Okay, so Team 2 has spotted, Team 1 has spotted Team 2's. But they've known about it for a little bit. Otham's over here. GC chasing them. They're not getting out of there, but they kill off, let's say, 9 mats a second roughly per T2 mech. So it makes a somewhat of a difference. Team 2 is caught up, I'd say, a smidgen. It's probably 350 in favor for Team 1 instead of 450. Hyperstar actually starts to teleport it down with a laser. He's progressing quite nicely with it. And again, Team 1's definitely going to have to be thinking about PD protection. Again, due to the fact that they have 5 Cyberns, you would think that'd be on their mind. Getting Telemaser, says CM. He already sees it, and I'm assuming he's going to build. Yep, there he goes, building PD immediately right after. Nice counter there. Now he's building a monkey. He's half done with it. The middle of the map still is... looks like it is going to favor Team 1 for now. Again, that Tempest being lost for Team 2 definitely hurts. I feel like after the first missile barrage, as much as you would want to leave the main cannon active, it'd be better just to leave it underneath the surface and maybe have it wrap up a little bit. I just feel like that's unfortunate. Nuke is inbound. It's going for something. In that line would be Ryguy's base, but he should have an SMD. Yep, and it's actually loaded twice. Or it's going to drop onto this position. That would suck for Team 1, but it's not the biggest and most annoying thing that Team 2 has to deal with. There's a lot of TAC missile launchers here, and yep, that is what it's going for. So that's a win in Navy a little bit for Team 2, and as always, kaboom! wipe out the T2 naval headquarters. The T2, actually T1 facility still here. They can easily upgrade to T2. Megawith getting a little bit bombarded by all the Salems and the Sirens and the whatnot, and then Authams and now gunships, and that Megawith's not really going to go anywhere at this point. There is 2 GCs nearby. Missiles inbound again from Team 1. They're really racking up the missiles. Wow, that's a lot of missiles for a T2 land facility. That's for sure. Dang, that's overkill. Oof. He could have probably killed off all of the facilities with probably 2 barrages. That's a lot of missiles. I mean, they didn't know if there was TMD there, so that's fair, but it's still a lot of missiles. A lot of missiles for what they're targeting is probably what I'm getting at. Oh, now it's raining in onto the Tempest, and that thing's not going to finish now, unfortunately. And even if it does, it's already heavily damaged. It's not even really worth the mass sink at this point. Unfortunately for Team 2, Navy has pretty much been lost with the battleships online. That's the end of the day there. And look at that. T2 Navy is now rebuilt for Buckyman. Very, very easy win there, or resurgence for him. Teleporter is done for Hyper. Hasn't gone for any other choices yet in location. He might be better off to teleport. It would be very risky to teleport here, but he could cut the jump in half and then go the other jump. I told you not to take it, says Buggyman. Talking about something, but no idea what he's talking about. Nuke did kill off 37,000 mass, and it's reloaded once again. Team 1 sending a fleet of ASFs inbound. Don't really know what they were really killing off, but they killed off something. Looks like maybe ASFs from Sanoman or something, possibly. Anything? Ooh, artillery has been started here for Team 2. Love to see it. And we have some Wagners going after... That's an interesting sight. Just watch this. Who cares about floating on the water? We can still shoot at each other on the surface. That reminds me of like Pirates of the Caribbean, where they do the walk under the water. That's what that reminds me of a little bit. Eastern side GC just getting bodied by a couple of walls from Team 1's bricks. It's almost like a brick house over here with all the walls. Well, there's not that many walls. And GC over here, hey, look at that. And T3 Naval Headquarters is now down. Gets a command class off this assembly line. And that's it. So nice little sneaking in there from Rekather. And aircraft carriers being hit. Don't know if it's actually going to be killed off, even if that's important. T3 Naval Headquarters at this point for CM Nicholas is nice for Team 1, but they've already won Navy. And GC, don't know. Oh, it's going to be close. 12,000, 11,000, 8,000. It's gone. Both T3 Naval Headquarters are gone, but Team 1 has already won Navy. So it's a consolation prize, but it's not really great at this point. Western side, chicken coming up the works for Team 2's invasion. Another chicken done for Dart Sand as well. At least you would think it's a chicken. Oh, it's GC. Never mind. Satellite started for Team 2. UEF doing UEF things. Is the other UEF in the game doing UEF things? Nope. Nuke is outbound from his next door neighbor on Maker. It's going eastward. Ooh, that's... I don't... I don't know if that's gonna be worth it. I mean, he might get a kill. I feel like wiping all of this out would be just a little bit more important. Donut is almost done. That's probably gonna get denied. The nuke, it might grab Buggyman. He might just get unlucky. Oh, he got super unlucky. That's unfortunate. Team 2 is gonna get another kill, and there he goes. Kaboom! Nice fiery explosion. Chickens suicide on top of one another, but it gums up the works there, forces Team 2 to go around, meaning that Team 1 has just a smidgen more time to prepare, and there's a new chicken. That should be enough to slow down Team 2's advance at least a little bit. And Team 2 is now going to be focused on the land invasion from CM Nicholas and the bombardment from the Navy. The donut will finish, which is, I think, very surprising, honestly. I don't know if Team 1 noticed it or not. They don't even know it's there. So there you go. They didn't even notice. They probably would have gone after it if they did notice. There's some AA, not a whole lot. Looks like it's just mainly destroyers at this point. So all the ones on the ground are going to get squashed by the donut. Cloaking started for Umbra. No teleport from Hyper that I've noticed. He just has it because why not? Give me base to someone else. Anyway, I don't know about that. GC is down. Oh, was that a gunship being hit by a laser? That's kind of what that looked like. I mean, the laser's not that low unless the gunship wasn't moving, but even then, it wouldn't have dropped that. Huh. If it did kill off the gunship, that'd be a first. Satellite online for Blarg. Lots of dead stuff over here on the western side for both teams, but and it's 2 GCs and a chicken, so I think Team 1 made out like a bandit in that regard. And air control definitely favors Team 1, I would say, at this point. Not even considering the ones for Doombot. It's 125 for Team 1 versus Blarg's. I'd say 75. Oh, and actually, no, that's a lot more than I thought. 141 ASFs engaged, and he just get absolutely slaughtered from Sanoman. Granted, there's not that many. And where'd the one? Hold on. Where'd the ones for that count? Yeah, Doombot 100. Yeah, so it's still in favor for Team 1. Looks like it's about air dominance, about 75 or so in favor because they're over 200. Did not look that many. I don't know what it is, but ASF's grouping together. It just doesn't seem as many as they actually are. About a squadron of nice little T3 strat bombers, nice little revenants, with some not cloaking, but stealth tech online, trying to hide from radar. Not Omni, but radar. So I don't know who they're going after, but somebody might be targeted. It is now a 6v5 game in favor for Team 2. So hopefully, if you're rooting for Team 1, you're hoping that Team 2, well, loses a player or two. And if you're rooting for Team 2, you hope that Team 2 is continuing to kill off Team 1. Anything big and exciting? Still the artillery not done yet, but it is almost done. And I thought that was a Scathus or something. Second satellite done. And Nuke. Yeah, again, it's getting some value, but I kind of feel like they missed a small opportunity. But they did kill off a player. You kill off the stuff or you kill off the player. It just depends on the situation. If the player doesn't have much, it'd really rather kill off stuff. But depending on the player, you might want to target the player. So it's very much circumstantial and nuanced. But not bug. Monkeys online. Satellite going after CM Nicholas's stuff. He's going to be a little bit annoyed about that. And Disruptor's almost done for him. So that's nice to see from Team 1. We'll see some artillery wars here shortly. All the ASF getting refueled and rearmed. And another donut, another Euthothan, nice little chicken coming online. Mass FAF farm, huge mass FAF farm. That's very cascadable. I would hope he puts just all of the shields around that. Because that is, Team 2 notices that. That's boom boom. That's just dead. Donut over here going after a Megawatt. Megawatt's not going to win that fight. There's some flak nearby that will help maybe kill off the shield. But by the time the shield is drained, the Megawatt will be almost dead. So it just depends if Team 2 wants to keep it there. The ASFs are inbound. If Team 2 doesn't notice, there will be a dead donut. And the donut does flee, but I think it's too late. The ASFs are still on it. Oh, no, it goes back for seconds anyways. I think it's going to get some crash damage is probably what it's going to go for. Yep, I think that's what it's for. It will crash land on a couple of bricks. Maybe do a little bit of damage. ASFs are inbound. Not really much of a distraction, that donut. There is some AA in the area from all of these Redeemers. A couple of Harbingers, but Team 2 loses the fight again in ASFs. And again, even if Blarg kills off every one of these ASFs from Team 1's Umbra, there's still Doombot's fleet, I keep saying fleet, Air Force, that, it's still over 100. So it's still in favor for Team 1. Artillery online for both teams. I saw the shots raining in on one another. That makes me think that both of them know where they are. Yep. And Team 2, yep. So they both know where each other's artillery is. Couple of Corsairs going after bricks. We have Unmaker retreating. He's not looking too good. He might actually get killed off here. The mountains might save him a little bit of time. Or it might give him a little bit more time, but gonna go well. He went for Ras. He got rid of his shield. He's probably thinking I probably should have kept that shield. And yeah, those bricks are not gonna be kind to him there. He goes, killed off by bricks. And again, that was the problem I mentioned earlier, was that you kind of get just kind of stuck in this no real way to move around, and it's not a great place to be in. So Team 2 loses a player. It's now tied once again, 41 minutes almost on the clock. And it's now a 5v5. Megawatt in the water for Team 2. There's a lot of torp defense from these mermaids, and the torpedoes are still breaching through the defenses going after the Galaxy. It's just going to take a while to chew through the hit points. The Megawatt is chunky in the water. The Galaxies are chunky in the water comparatively, so it's just going to be sit there and kind of just not really do a whole lot. Artillery still online. Some of the shields are getting upgraded. That's nice to see. Going for ED5. For those of you who didn't know, the Cybran T3 shield can be upgraded one more time. Ooh, it's going to hit the Pigeon. Oh, and the SMD Ooh, that's not good. Is the SMD from Right Guys able to... No. There's no SMD in line. That is going to be a kill on CM Nicholas's base. He sees it and goes, nope, I'm out of here. See you, bye. And pinging and pinging and pinging and pinging from Team 2. There's the nuke. There's the launching of said nuke. And that's going to be a great win for Team 2. There it goes. Oh, hold on. Give it a second. It's
strategic launch.
blossoming. Oh, and hold on. Record's defeated by Team... Oh, he's over here. Okay, well, Team 1 just came up and said nope to that. Rector is now down. It's now, I believe, for the first time in the game, Team 1 is in the lead. 5 to 4 players left. And an SMD cannot be built in time. There's no way. And CM Nicholas is being shot at. So essentially, it's either be killed off by a satellite or maybe be killed off by a nuke. And I think the artillery is actually targeting the comm. Yep, it looks like that's what's happening. Shield online. That base is going to go up in flames here shortly. It'd be very unlucky if that SMD caught it. I was going to say there's no way it does, but caster curse and whatnot. You never know. And there goes the nuke in all of its glory. Boom! T3 land headquarters is still fine. That's a nice consolation prize, but... And the mexes, actually none of the mexes are dead, just the artillery and a couple of other facilities. So not actually a huge loss besides the artillery piece. Team 2 going for a second one yet. Doesn't look like it just yet. We have an attack on the ground still from CM Nicholas. We have attack from the water to the ground from some Salems from CM Nicholas. Second satellite is online for Team 2. If somebody built a Paragon or whatever somewhere, I would be amazed. That's a quantum gateway. That is not an artillery piece. Team 1, second artillery piece. Nope. That's a bug. Nope. Nope. And Peach and Mass Fab Farm still going. So we'll see how long that progresses. Again, Team 2, if they notice it, might as well target it with artillery. They don't know of it yet. So there's that. And I don't even know if that artillery could hit it, even if it wanted to. Nope. Nope. Not even in range. That'd be a satellite thing, essentially. Eastern side, though, not looking good. CM Nicholas getting lots of inroads, and he's going to get the donut wreck, so nice grab there. In terms of reclaim, actually, considering the numbers, it's very close. You look at it and go, well, it's about 25,000 ahead for Team 1. Yeah, it's 25,000, but out of 300+ thousand percentage-wise, that's not a lot. It really isn't. You know, if this was 5-10 minutes in the game, that'd be a considerable amount. 43 minutes in, 44 minutes in, not so much. Team 1, 2.5K per second. Team 2, 2K per second. Team 1 netting a little over 500,000 more than Team 2 in terms of total mass accrued. That's definitely concerning. I do love how all the ASFs for Team 1 are just hanging out near the GCs from Team 2. Like, hey, you can't touch us. Because they're trying to, like, reach up and, swat the flies, essentially. And the ASFs are like, nuh-uh, you can't touch us. Third satellite coming online. I just don't see anything on the ground that Team 2 realistically has. They need to deal with this. The new nuke, the newest nuke, the one that should be launched next, should be aimed at this, because this is causing a lot of problems for the eastern side. Where? Okay, hold on. I saw the comm. He's in the corner of the map. Don't know what he's doing. Remember that comment I made about a Paragon? And I just made it. I made it offhand, like, watch, somebody's making a Paragon. Well, there it is. I don't know if it's going to be finished, but there's a lot of engineers inbound. So we'll see. And it looks like some of the air facilities, the refill facilities and refuel, the rearm, whatnot, the staging ones are being shot at. Where is the artillery? What is it even targeting? Is it targeting the comm? It could be targeting the comm, but it's cloaking, though. They don't know where the comm is unless the satellites are... Yeah, they don't know. Have any idea that he's there. 2 satellites over here. Third one, of course, is coming online here shortly. Surprise, it's me, says Rag Guys. What? No idea what that's about. Air fight again. Now on Team 2 side of the map, essentially airlocking Team 2, or at least forcing their way back. And oh, look, here's a monkey. That's what he meant. Hello. Looks like he walked it this way. And Monkey Lord is down. Does he kill off the SMD? It does. That's a nice grab. And not looking good for Team 2's ASF and everything. Ground game not looking too hot. GC being absolutely eviscerated by a brick house and a lot of Salems, witches, and Them some galaxies just staring at them. Here, SMD says Sandman targeting that. That one's almost loaded. But even if they kill off the air grid for Team 1, it's not really going to matter so much because there's this giant nonsense to deal with from Team 1 over here anyways. And there's gunships inbound. Are those mercies? Those are mercies. Look at that. Hey, so many casts. Finally, we get some mercies in this game. And there's the AoE. And not as powerful as just the mercy in general as it once was. There's the little effect. It does kill off a couple of bricks. That's something. But, oof, just, it's so sad. It's so sad to see the mercy the way it is now. I do kind of miss the mercy snipes. Nuke is inbound. It does target the naval units, and they're actually going to pull back a little bit. That's a lot of galaxies. Hyper 2001 eliminated by Doombot. Ooh, that's got to hurt. Looks like some gunships came over to say hi. That is another kill for Team 1, dropping into a 5v3, and it's not going well. The APM is starting to definitely favor Team 1. Nuke lands. Kaboom! Wipes out a couple of forces. Not a lot, though. A lot of them pull back. And then Team 2's team just goes, nope. We are done with the game, and we're leaving, and we're going home. And CM Nicholas and the rest of Team 1 wins the game. 46, almost 47 minutes on the clock. Good game in the chat. Love to see that. There's probably a conversation after the game about how everything went and whatnot. Hit the para, and then Sats, and then Airgrid says Umbra, the Paragon was barely started. It would have taken at least till minute 50 at a bare minimum to get that thing online. And then even after that, it would have taken at least a couple of minutes, at least one, if not two, to really get something going with the Paragon. So had it been started 5-6 minutes ago and it be done now at a bare minimum, maybe. But at this point, it's not going to matter because this eastern side is just, it's gone. You know, it's going to be a push west, and it's going to be attack on two fronts, and it's just not going to go well. So I do understand Team 2's departure from the game. It is sad to see it sometimes when you don't see it to like the last bitter second, but sometimes players are like, you know, it's not worth it. We'll just play another game. That's again, like I said, there's benefits to both. But I do like seeing it to like the last man kind of thing. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't, because why not at this point, hit the like button and subscribe. And, of course, share with everyone and anyone, and especially your pets, because your pets deserve quality content as well. Thank you so much for watching again to the very end. And I will see all of you in the next one.